If you want to come along for another photo adventure, then stay tuned. This video is for you. So what's going on today? Well, I actually took the week off and I thought, you know what? I'm going to load up my gear. I'm going to come down to Red River Gorge and I'm going to camp out at the Indian Staircase. Now, if you've been here before, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, well, just know that there's 3 different ways to get up there. There's one that is very aggressive, I think, and dangerous. There's another one that's aggressive, but not quite as dangerous. And then there's the prudent path that, you know, really takes a few miles. We're going to have some bugs out here tonight, I can see. But the day is, you know, the sun's starting to go down, so I'm starting to run short of daylight, so I'm going to have to get going. But I have a lot in my pack right here. And I do have my Nikon D3400 with me, but I think I'm just going to take the iPhone 14 Pro with me, really just out of convenience. I think it takes some great shots, so I'm going to capture some good shots, hopefully, maybe some tonight and then a bunch tomorrow and of the sunrise and all that good stuff. I'm going to come back off this trail, and then I plan to hike a lot of other trails tomorrow and really just get some mileage in and really have some fun and unwind and relax and all that good stuff. Now, with my other videos, I typically get into a lot of shots. This time around, I'm going to take some shots, but I just don't know how many shots I'm going to get. I really just want to make it more of an adventure, you know, really just kind of focus on the hiking and the scenes and that kind of stuff. And I'll talk to you along the way. I'll go over the gear that I bring. So if you're an outdoor adventure seeker, you know, I'll just let you know what I've taken with me here. And when I say this is heavy, I mean it's heavy. So this is going to be a fitness haul. You know, this is going to be a workout when I get to where I'm going, but I'll have fun doing it. So with all that said, I hope you're having a great day and a great week and a great year for that matter. And I invite for you to take a step back, relax, take a deep breath from your life, and come along with me. Let's go have some fun. Make no mistake about it, the ascent to get to where I am right here is pretty intense, especially with this pack on right here. Now, I've got a heart rate monitor on and I run a lot, and I can tell you that this was a heavy load. Just getting up here, you can kind of see back here, this is where I came from and we started down there, but that ascent, it's just kind of crazy. So, it's definitely not the path of least resistance, and I can tell not many people come up this way, but you can see behind me, let me get here, you see this rock face, and this path, I believe, right here is going to lead me between the rocks, and let's go take a look at it. But this is our way up, and we're going to have to like hang on to I think it's going to be root vines and things like that. Let's go check it out. This is not the right path. That is a cave. And while it looks pretty cool and I'd like to explore it, the sun's starting to go down, so I think our path is on the other side. Let's traverse back over there. Okay, so I found it. And yeah, I've been over here I think once before. And it's caught between these rocks. I don't know how well we can see it, but it's right here. Let's get a little closer. I'm going to have to anyway to get up it, right? So, what it looks like it actually rained a little bit at some point today. So, yeah, that just makes for an even greater adventure, right? Okay. I'm right where I need to be, I believe. But you can see right here, so there are these vines that run between the rocks, and it's going to be a strong ascent getting to the top up there. If I had to guess, is probably 30 feet or so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 30 feet. And that's a pretty strong angle, but I think it's gonna require a lot of what I got to get up there, so I'm gonna focus on this right now. When I get up there, I'll shoot video back down, and I'll give you my 2 cents on that. I just whittled my way through this little trail, and I am thankful that I have some sweatpants on because it's tight, and this pack was getting caught on a lot of things, but if you just, you know, kind of force your way through, you can get there. Now, this appears to be the second part of the ascent. You can see it's just a little rock face here, but, you know, it may not look as intimidating as the last one, but you really want to be careful, like everywhere you go, especially in this kind of remote area that not many people, I don't think, traverse. So let's get on it. I finally made it up to the top, and you can see right here this valley is just beautiful, right? Just a few little clouds in the sky, and the sun's this way, so we're kind of facing more east, kind of east-northeast here. But my goal is to make my way on the other side of the valley here. So I've really got to get motoring to kind of make my way all the way around the ridgeline, and then over there near one of the rock faces over there. And, you know, again, I've said this before, I'll continue to say it, but be safe. Don't get too close to the edge, because there's no reason to do that. Now, let's get motoring, because I got to make some time. While I want to make good time getting to where I need to go and get my stuff set up, I also want to enjoy some of the finds. So look at this. Look at this rock formation. I mean, it's cool, right? Not where we can see it, but it's just kind of like a little bridge here. You can see some people have left their mark on this rock, but pretty cool. Just a quick update, I am making some good time. And, you know, I believe it rained here earlier today, but the good news is it looks like these pine needles are dry, so that means that getting a fire going will be a little easier. And my target, I can't quite see it, but it's through the woods over there, and we're getting there, but it's just taking a little bit of time. We got full-on sun here on the west. If I have to guess, I'd say I might have maybe another 45 minutes of sun, and once it goes down, you get a little more daylight. Yeah, maybe another, I don't know, 20-30 minutes of daylight. So I'm going to maximize every bit of that time and just keep on moving. I made it, and it's about 7 o'clock, which means you just kind of see the sun over the tree line here. And let me show you. So this is where I'm going to set 10, I think. I'm going to try to pitch it right in this area. See, someone's already got a little fire pit going right here, although there's only one piece of wood. So I've got to go scavenge for wood here in just a few moments. You can see the view. Look at this. So this is awesome. Now I can kind of climb down here on these rocks, And the Indian staircase, what I was mentioning earlier, which is a much more aggressive way to get up here, is from down there. And again, with a pack like this, no. And if it's ever wet or raining, don't do it. I only ran into one other person out here, very small group, and that was right when I came off that other strong ascent. They were getting ready to go down it. But there is nobody else out here. I haven't come across anybody. So I'm guessing I'll probably be the only one camping out here, which will be kind of interesting. But at any rate, we've got the sun setting on the west, and then we should get a good sunrise on the east, which means that this valley should light up. And if it gets cold enough tonight, I think we're going to have this sea of fog in the valley, which will be pretty cool. So with all that said, let's get ready. Let's get prepped. It is time to get everything set up. I'm going to go ahead and take off my pack and just do kind of a quick what's in it. All right. I'm filming this, by the way, on the DJI Osmo action camera. Now, I've used this camera for quite a while, and it's my go-to camera. It works great. So, okay, what was strapped to the top when I took off, which is up here and here, these are kind of luxury items. Now, I'm aware that I'm packing pretty heavy here, so this is just a Sunyear fold-out chair. It's really lightweight. I've used it before, and it just works well. You know, you don't really think about it until you're out and about. You kind of want to take a seat. You know, that's really what it's all about. Definitely not necessary, but nice to have. This is my bedroll. So this is inflatable, and we're gonna set this up, and we'll do this in a little bit. That'll go inside the tent. Off to the side right here, which we're gonna need, tucked away a couple of gloves. Now, these gloves are just kind of your cheapo gloves, but these are good, lightweight, and it's good when we start to get the firewood and everything else we're going to do. I always bring a hatchet with me as well. This is just a blade guard that's on it, and we'll put this to use as we go to get our wood. What else do we have in here? Cell phone, AirPods, and nightlight. Definitely going to need that. I'm going to keep that one close by. Also keep a set of batteries with me. So these are brand new. I just got them rubber banded together so they don't get scrambled up inside the pouch. Let's see. Leatherman tool. These are always good to have. Also got my fire starter. This is just a little torch. A little lighter is kind of the backup, just in case my torch runs out of fluid. And that might be all I have in this pouch right here. Sometimes I'll put in some other kind of little fire starting props and things, but that's all I've got in there. Over here is probably more of my toiletries stuff. I got my toothbrush, toilet paper, toothpaste, you know, kind of all that good stuff is caught up in this pouch right here. And then of course I've got bottled water here and one here, so I brought two of these. If you're out for an extended time, I do have a life straw. So, and you can also get filter bags, but the life straw allows me to suck from, you know, I can get water from any stream, anything like that. But I know where I am and I'm okay with what I've got. I've also have a pouch up top here. Now this pouch up here, let's take a look. This thing's got all kinds of little pockets in it and on it. Now, I actually travel with my daily devotional, okay? So, that's just me. That's just what I do. So, I'm strong on the faith. These are my battery backups, and so I have two of these right here. And that'll help me to recharge my stuff for when I need it. However, let's see what else we've got right here. This, another luxury item, and this is kind of weighty. This is a hammock. So I might throw this up. This will actually be pretty nice maybe in the morning. I've got my this is my utensils right here. So I'm going to be heating up some soup. We're going to need that. Got a little MP3 player. Definitely not required, but it's kind of nice when you're out here if you want to listen to some music. Got got my food in here. I've got my little pillow. This is another blow up thing. This actually works out really well. I've got some sweats. I've got a compression top. It's going to get cold. I think we're going to be in the 50s. I mean, you know, if you call that cold. My sleeping bag is really what takes up a bulk of this right here. So that's all I've got. And now I've got to get going to get this firewood going, get the tent set up. So let's make all that happen. I made it through the night, and you can see this sea of fog in the valley. You can see the ridgeline over here, and it is just really awesome. Now, I didn't sleep real well last night, and the sun is coming up actually right now, so the sun's gonna have to burn through some of this fog, and then we'll see that ridgeline a little better. And then I'll start taking some shots, you know, of what this valley looks like. As it is right now, I actually think it's really cool. I don't know how well we can see it, but we can kind of look down here and we can see inside the valley and some of the trees and the vegetation that's down there. Now my tent is actually right over here. Might be kind of difficult to see, and you can see I started the fire back up. It's really not that bad out here. I mean, it's temperature-wise, I think we're in the 50s. Now I got this coat on just because I brought it with me, and it's keeping me warm right now, but it's really, really peaceful out here. And that's why I'm out here. You know, it's just to relax and unwind. While I'm waiting for the sun to burn the fog off here, I just want to take a moment and chat just briefly about the tent and kind of the setup of the campsite itself. So if you're out and about, you know, what is a good approach? Well, you know, you always want to look for some, you know, kind of flat ground here. And in the event that you have a slope of some sort, be sure to put your head at the top of that slope. Otherwise, you're going to wake up in the morning with a big headache. Trust me on that one. You can see I have my tarp down here. Now, the reason for this tarp is really to protect the bottom of the tent, and it also works as a barrier in the cold nights. So, always good to have a tarp. And then this here on the tent is just a rain fly. You can see everything's kind of wet. Look right there, it's a daddy long leg. So I have a lot of these spiders out here last night. And this particular tent is sponsored by Nightcat. Now, Nightcat, they had sent me some equipment. It's been 2 or 3 years ago. They sent me a couple of these small tents, and then I have one kind of larger tent that I've used, and I've featured them in other videos. It's actually a pretty decent tent. Although Nightcat, if you're watching this, there is a quality control issue here, and it's right here. So this is just a tie back, you know, flap, and the other side just doesn't have it. So I'm guessing it just missed the QC. there should be a piece over here somewhere, and then this should roll back and tie off. But other than that, let's take a look real quick inside the tent. Inside this tent, there's not a lot of room, but you really don't need much. You'll see I have my sleeping bag right here. This is just a Coleman bag. I do have some other sleeping bags, but I decided to pack this one on this particular trip. And then I have my blow-up mattress right here. And I also have a blow-up pillow. And how these blow up is with a little airbag right here. And this actually works out really, really well. So it's got an adapter here, and you just plug it into both the air mattress and the pillow right here. And you just scoop up air, squeeze it in, and it works really well. It's another shot of the site where you can see I have the tent set up here, and I've got my chair, I've got my fire pit right over here. let's talk for just a minute about bears. Okay, so I've seen bears on the trail, and anytime you have food, you should have a bear bag, and you can use some paracord if they don't have something at the site, and you should try to hang it in a tree. Just get it away from your tent. You don't want food inside your tent. Bears can sniff that out, and they'll come for it, believe me. So I don't have a bear bag, and I actually wrapped the food that I have, and I had it off to the side last night, and I just put it in the chair here, but you know, I put it a good distance from the tent, just for that reason, because I don't like bears up in my business. I'm going to get underway and start shutting all of this down and packing it up. Site's all ready. I got my bag over here. It's all packed up and ready to go. And you can see I've got the fire out, and I even left a couple of sticks over here for the next camper who might make their way out here. And I took the bigger logs, pushed them off to the side. We still have a heavy fog out here, and I can see the sun is up. I mean, you know, sun's been up now for 2 or 3 hours, and we still got a heavy fog deck. So instead of me traversing down the rock face, I think I'm going to make my way back along the ridge line and around. Now I'm going to get to a fork on the other side of the valley, which you can't see because of all that fog, but it's over there. And that fork will allow me to go left or right. If I go left, it's going to take me down into the valley and then around and back out. That is probably the safest and most prudent approach, and I'll probably take that since I have a little time and I do want to get fit. So let's get on it, make it happen. If you're ever out here and you're on this trail, then you got to be careful coming back. So I think when I went out at the spot I camped, I was up there and I traversed the ridgeline. Now I'm still on the ridgeline, but I feel like I'm a step down. Let me show you real quick. So over there behind me, I don't know how well we can see it, but that's where I had pitched tent, and somehow I traversed back. And instead of going up high, I came down low. Now, there's a definite trail here. I see footprints on it, but it's a little sketch because you can see right here, you know, you're just a few feet away from the edge, just walking right here. So you've really got to be careful. And that's just another piece of caution. And, you know, my safety tip, and I'll probably have more to come. So just be careful when you're out. As I'm making my way through the valley, just want to talk about the weight of the pack here. Now, as I mentioned, this is a Teton Explorer, and I think it's the 4000 series. Now I have this loaded down, and I do have some extras in here, as I've shown you, and it makes for a really heavy pack. Now, if you plan on hiking the Appalachian or the Pacific coast, yeah, you wanna go really light, because you really want to be much more efficient. Now, I don't know exactly how heavy this weighs, but it's pretty heavy. So it's just something to think about if you go out, and depending on how far you need to hike or you plan to hike, just think about the weight, because you know it can take a toll on you, and you also need to ensure that you have plenty of fluids if you're sweating a lot during that hike. And when I get back and out of this trail, I'm going to exchange this for my out and back pack. So it's much lighter. I don't have all the gear in here. You know, it's basically just the essentials to get out there and get back on that given trail. So just something to think about. I made it off the trail, and I spent a little bit of time just rehydrating and refueling. And then I swapped out the pack. This is my OB pack right here, or the out and backpack. It's just got a fraction of the stuff in it and a fraction of the weight, which is great. I decided to just refuel kind of quickly and get to another trail. So right down the street, there is a place called the Cloud Splitter. Trailhead is up here just a little ways. Now, the challenge to this is if you ever come down here, there's no place to park right by the trailhead. So you've got to park down a little ways, and then you've got to hike it probably a quarter mile or so on this road. And this road is super narrow, so you've got to be careful when you're on this road. Always pay attention and get over just as far as you can if a car's coming. This is the start of the trail to the Cloud Splitter. I made it up the relatively strong ascent on the trail. It takes me to this. So we got some rocks, we got some tree roots right here, and so I'm going to traverse up to the top. And I think the real challenge is yet to come, though. So let's see what awaits. I made it up to what I think is the last major ascent to get to the Cloud Splitter, and there's a rope right here. So I was up here once before, and this rope was further over, and it looks like they moved it further to the left here. The rope looks good. It looks solid. It looks like it's affixed to a tree up there. I'm going to put a little weight test on it, and then I'm going to start my ascent. When I get up there, we'll do a video kind of shooting back so we can see what it looks like. But there is sun just coming right at me, and I don't think we're going to get a good shot here. Yeah, not really. I made it up, and you know, it's not like it's a super long ascent, and I'm going to have to rappel down it when I'm done here. But you can kind of see it right here. How well we can see it on the camera, I just don't have a good screen to really view it. But the rope runs all the way down, and then there's a little drop off there that you step up to. Definitely not a mom-approved trail. So you want to be fit, and you want to know what you're capable of, and be extremely careful. Let's get to the top and see some of these views. We have a lot of hawks circling over here. If we could see this, you could see the view. The view is awesome. It's beautiful. My guess is these hawks are circling because they might have some food down here in the valley somewhere. But it is just super peaceful out here. I mean, this is where you just relax and unwind. Making my way back down the trail to the Cloud Splitter, and that was pretty cool up there. Time to jump on another trail. This is called the Osborne Trail. I don't know much about this one, never been on it. We're just going to see where it takes us, and hopefully we'll have some good views and be able to just take the moment in and relax, you know, and unwind. Maybe grab a few shots along the way to capture those memories. If you're ever out hiking and you wonder if you're off the trail, what I do is I'll look at the ground and I look for footprints. Anything kind of fresh, semi-fresh, tells me that other people have been there and that I'm probably on the right path. So it's just something to think about if you're out hiking around and you kind of wonder if you strayed from the beaten path. I get asked this a lot. Is there a particular app, or what do I do to find the trail, stay on the trail? The one thing I would say is always have a compass with you. I have a lensatic compass, and if you want, you can print out the map before you get to where you're going just to be safe. But when it comes to digital, if you bring your phone, for the most part, you have GPS because satellites are always flying around. You don't necessarily need cellular, but you will need the map on your phone because to get the data from the map, you have to have cellular. So you need to be in a place that you can get that data before you get to where you might lose it. Now, there's an app out there called All Trails. Maybe you've heard of it. 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, they sponsored me for a year. So I had the opportunity to use it. I put it through the paces, and it's good. It's solid. My only challenge with the app is that, their content is created by the members, and then they charge to download the offline maps, which again is a result of member-created content. So I don't really know how I feel about that. I almost feel like they should have maybe an ad-supported type offering of some sort, or for those who contribute, maybe they get it for free, something like that. There are other apps out there you can use as well, but just keep in mind that All Trails, it's solid and it's decent. So if you're looking for one, that's a possibility. And again, if you do head into the backcountry and you just have your phone with you, be sure you have an external power supply and you have your cable with you, charging cable that is, so that way you have power. That is, if you don't print off the map. And again, I always think the backup is to print a map, have a compass with you. The trails out here are just not that well marked. Now, if you're local to the area, you're probably like, yeah, you got to go left and then shimmy a little to the right and back left again. Well, I got to tell you, it's very easy to get off trail. And that just happened to me. I was just talking about what to do, look for footprints. I started doing that and realizing that I'm on a path less traveled here. So, I had to double check everything with the map, and I was like, yeah, I got to double back. And I finally found the trail I need to be on, and I just ran into a guy who is like a resident expert, just an awesome guy. His name's Matt. Matt, if you watch this video, it's great running into you, my friend. And if you do fire up a channel, as we talked about, I'll put a link in the description to your channel, just to help anybody who comes down to Red River Gorge. So I got to traverse this right here, and this is going to take me up to the top here. So this is true bushwhacking. So this trail that I've been on has been, it's been blocked by various trees, and I mean to the point that you can't just get over it or under it. You have to go around it, and there is not a beaten path. And that's the case right here. I mean, you can kind of see behind me. There's no path here. I'm just in the thick of it, and there's no path in front of me. All I really have at this point is I do have juice in my phone, and I have the All Trails app, so I am just making my way through the thick of all of this until I land on a trail. So now, if the power goes out on my phone, I do have a battery charger with me and a cable, so that's a good thing. And if that were to go out, then I will turn to my compass and a poorly printed map. And I do know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so, you know, worst case, I got to bushwhack it all the way until I find a road. Let's hope that's not the case, though. But this can happen sometimes. You just got to be prepared for it. I still have some water with me, and I have a little bit of snack with me, just in case I get hungry. So I got that going for me. Time to continue on, though, and hopefully find that trail. The more I hike this trail, the more I've been given some thought to what would I rate this trail. Well, on my 5-star scale, I'm going to give it a 1. It's like I didn't really have the payout, you know. There was no like beautiful view or arches or a waterfall or anything like that. You know, I had to bushwhack there for a little bit just to get back on and find a trail, which is kind of crazy. Now it's time to relax. You know, I finally made it off that trail, and I've got a great view right here. I'm going to get this hammock set up, and then I'll show you the view. This is what I've got going on. Now, I know it's tough to see because the sun is just blazing right now. But when this sun starts to go down, we're going to have this awesome view right here. And I'm just going to get inside this hammock and just relax for the next half hour or so and unwind and kind of kick back. The sunset was awesome. It was beautiful. I just took a couple of shots there, but I did have the opportunity to sit back and watch it, and that was really, really cool. Now I can see the valley here, and I'm thinking maybe in the morning I may come back in this area or make my way over to that's Chimney Top Rock, and then the Half Moon's over here. But I may get out here and see what kind of fog we have in the valley. I was kind of hoping to see that this morning, but that fog was all over the place, you know. But I'm thinking tomorrow, you know, if we're lucky, we'll just see it in the valley. And then you'll see, you know, the ridge lines and the rock faces. You'll see them kind of sitting above it. It's actually really, really cool. And it's just something I enjoy. Now I can see down here in the valley, it looks like some fog's already starting to settle down. So it's, you know, the temperature's starting to drop probably down there, and that's the reason that's happening. But right now, I have got to tear down the hammock and go prep dinner, shelter, all that good stuff. And as the sun's going down, I got to move kind of quick to make all that happen. Last night, I was able to quickly tear down the hammock, which is much faster than a tent, as you might imagine. But I was able to get that down and then move to another location and set up camp, get my fire going, have some soup. And last night, I slept pretty sound. I was just tired from all the activity yesterday. This morning, I am taking a quick hike out to the Half Moon. If you're familiar with this location and what that is, I'm gonna boulder up there relatively quick, and I want to get a look at the fog in the valley. I think we're gonna have some out there. I just don't know how much. So I'm gonna take a quick look at that, maybe grab a couple of shots, and then right next to it is Chimney Top. So I'll buzz over to Chimney Top real quick, and I think we'll close this video out. So stay with me and let's have a little more fun here. I just came off the half moon and I bouldered up. Enjoyed my time up there and bouldered back down. It was peaceful, nobody up there, and there was fog in the valley, I think, as we could tell by some of those shots. But I gotta tell you, I don't think I would advise anyone to go up there. And it's simply because it's not an official sanctioned trail, and it's dangerous. I mean, you know, if you slip up there, it is not going to end well. So, you know, my thought is, don't do it, you know. I'm going to head over to Chimney Top next, and we'll take a look at the views here, draw some comparisons, and see what it looks like from over there. This is Chimney Top Rock. So we're at the tail end of it right here, and you can see that this is just a much safer way to view the gorge, the valley, the rock faces. And let me show you right over there is, see if I can get it in the camera if we can. That's the half moon. So you can see kind of, let's see if I'll throw a photo up here, but you have to boulder up that incline right there to get to the half moon. And again, it is just dangerous. And you know, I can tell other people have been up there, but it doesn't make it right. And if you think you know what you're doing but you're not quite sure, just don't do it. I mean, this right here, this is the safe way to go, and you still have an awesome, awesome view. So yeah, it's really, really nice out here. I mean, and it's peaceful. Who doesn't like being peaceful, right? It's great. Well, it's time for me to head on back. I've been out here for a few days now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great adventure. I had some awesome trails, and I also had that one really challenging trail. It's probably been the most challenging trail I've experienced since I've been out here. But nonetheless, overall, it was a good adventure, and it was a break from my everyday life. You know, it's just that adventure that is used to kind of recharge the batteries, regroup, rethink. That's what it's all about. Now, I hope this video has done the same for you, albeit in a much more condensed fashion, but I hope this has given you a break from your life and given you a chance to kind of relax and unwind a little bit while you enjoyed this adventure with me. Now, I'm going to try to post a little more to YouTube, but I always find it to be a big production. And in the past, I've enjoyed it, but it's time consuming. So I'm thinking about using TikTok or Instagram a little more. I'll post a link to both in the description below, and some of the gear that I've used out here. If you're interested, you'll see some links in the description below as well. Now, I hope this video has helped you out in some way, and if it has, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. It's called Real World. More often than not, I post videos about photography and technology, but you never know. So until the next video, take care of yourself and stay safe.